me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
Hi everybody, Spider-Kel back once again for another DC Chess Collection review, number 15, Mr. Freeze. I have been looking forward to doing this review so much since I got the figure and even before I got the figure. The amount of people talking about this, it's easily one of those figures that, sorry, cat's just jumping off my knee. One of those figures that people have talked about the most, at least that I've seen, and for a couple of different reasons. But Mr. Freeze is a character that I really, really like. I always have done as well, and thanks in part to the fantastic story that Paul Dini gave to the Mr. Freeze character in the animated series of Batman. Before then, he was kind of just a generic bad guy, just a guy who couldn't survive in temperatures below zero, and just basically went about making cold puns and things like that in the 1960s Batman, which was great. But then Paul Dini comes along and he gives him such a wonderful backstory that he's trying to find a cure for his wife, and just some beautiful, beautiful story work in the animated series, to a point where I listened to a podcast, it was a while back, but I listened to a podcast where Kevin Smith was talking to Paul Dini about it, and was talking about the Mr. Freeze character, and Paul Dini started talking about Heart of Ice, which is easily one of the best animated series stories that there is. It's one of the greatest. And he was talking about it, and he actually came to tears while talking about it. He put so much heart and soul into that story that while he talked about it, it still pulls at his heartstrings, you know, and it's obviously something personal as well. And that is just an incredible story. And that's how Mr. Freeze has pretty much been throughout. I mean, Arkham City, the story in there, that was the whole story arc around Mr. Freeze, was him trying to find his wife because Joker had kidnapped her. And even to the Batman and Robin, you know, you have to give credit to Joel Schumacher for attempting that, and having Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze holding the Gotham City for ransom so that he could find a cure for his wife, you know, and trying to find a cure for the disease that she had. And I do give credit to them for doing that. They didn't do it very well. I mean, let's take an example. They went from the beautiful Paul Dini working and the beautiful Paul Dini script where he says something like this.
Stop! Please! Beg you!
You beg? In my nightmares I see my Nora behind the glass, begging to me with frozen eyes. How I've longed to see that look frozen on you.
And then you go to Batman and Robin, where you get things like this.
Please, show some mercy.
Mercy? I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
Yeah, and it's quite simply a case of a good attempt, but try harder next time. You know, it's a wonderful story, and I really like the Mr. Freeze. But then, as I was waiting for the figure to come out, I heard a lot of people talking about it and talking about one thing in particular. And let's just get into the figure and let's talk about it, shall we? And here we have it, the infamous Mr. Freeze figure. I shall go on record right now from the beginning to say I really like this. I really, really do. And I don't know, maybe some of you out there will agree with me on this one, maybe some of you won't, but I think this is a beautifully sculpted, very nicely designed piece. I think that the helmet gives it away for me the most, and I think it's fantastic, but it has got one horrendous flaw. This gun. What is up with that? If it wasn't for this, I don't think it would have been talked about so much. This is the one thing that everyone I have spoken to or everyone I've seen comments about has mentioned this gun. And I've heard a lot of people saying that they like it but they don't like the gun. A lot of people saying they just hate the figure altogether. I definitely like it, but that gun, it's... we'll get to the gun, shall we? But yeah, that is pretty horrific. But yeah, as I said, wonderful face sculpt. It's just a beautiful, beautiful face sculpt. He looks just menacing and evil, and he's got the red eyes that the Mr. Freeze is well known for, and a wonderful paint colour as well on that. And yeah, that is just a fantastic face sculpt. I think definitely one of the best. But this plastic dome that we get over his head, which obviously they had to incorporate this. Mr. Freeze couldn't survive without this, but just a fantastic touch. You know, a wonderful, wonderful piece. Really, really good there. And the body armor as well. I do like how they've gone with this design. Again, with so many, there's lots of different Mr. Freeze designs. You could have gone with the animated series one. You could have gone from some of the comics. You could have gone for the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Which, again, I quite like that suit. The acting's not particularly very good, and the story's not particularly very good, but the suit, I really do like the suit. You could have gone with the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City suit. You could have gone with so many different ones, but I like this one. I like the colouring. I like how you've got all these different shades of blue. You've got a kind of lighter blue, a deeper blue on the tanks, a very pale blue on the face. The one thing I would have liked, and I'm just assuming this because, to be honest, I can't see how he would survive without it. These arm pieces here, I would assume, are part of the suit. These must be part of the suit, because obviously his skin couldn't be... he couldn't have his skin exposed to outside temperature. But I don't like how they've got this the same colour as his face, because it makes it look like that's his skin, like his skin's on shore, which that's not the case. It can't be the case. It's so they could have done this maybe a different, maybe even a couple of shades deeper, just to differentiate from this to his face. It's a small thing, but it goes down to his legs as well, which we'll get to. But I mean, you can see here there's like a little blue dot there, which must be part of the suit, and it just... Maybe it is his skin, and maybe there's, you know, maybe there is a story behind this suit, that it keeps his body temperature low enough that he can do that. Maybe that's the case. If that's the case, that's fine. But the way I'm looking at it, the way I see it, that should be part of his suit, and it should be a deeper colour. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Let me know if this is a suit where, because I do know that there is a suit where he's able to control his body temperature a lot better, so he's able to wear less of it. So this is maybe it. Just let me know. The tanks are really good. A little bit of sloppy paintwork on here, though. I mean, that's a bit meh. Yeah, so it's a little bit loose, but I do like the colouring on all of this and the little dots. There's just details all the way throughout that's fantastic. We have his little bits of more of his light blue there. I really like this colouring. I just like how it's all different shades of blue and dark and things like that all the way through the body. And there again, just like down to here with his legs, where either this is his legs or it's part of the suit. But yeah, it's really good. I find it weird though that the way his legs are kind of done, they're almost going back over on themselves, which is kind of weird. It's almost like he's leaning forward by his knees, which is a bit of a weird pose, but never mind. And his boots are kind of cool as well. It makes it look like he's got really short, dumpy feet, you know. Maybe should have come out a little bit further here, but yeah, it's pretty good. And I do, as I said, I do like the different shades and so on. Okay. You've got all the way throughout this figure, you've got, sorry, that's just my phone. You've got these wonderful bits of dark blue, light blue, really nice colouring all the way throughout, and then they give you the gun and they just do this. Now, I look at this and I question, is this an error? Is this kind of, they should have coloured it? Because I would imagine that they painted the whole figure this light blue, this entire figure, and then kind of go over with the extra bit of detail. I think maybe it's the only thing I can think of that this isn't supposed to be how it looks, and they made a mistake and they just didn't colour it, or maybe they got sick of it and just thought, yeah, they'll do. Either way, and whatever happens, that is, let's be honest, that's a really good gun. If you look at it without the colouring, you've got some lovely detail in there. You've got some great detail all the way throughout. Nice band there. There we go. And he's holding on to the handle, and just some really nice bits of detail. A hole at the end here, an actual carved in hole and not just a painted one. And the pipe going all the way through to the back there. So let's say it. This is a really nice gun, but come on, you could have put a bit more colour into this. It's just bland. You've got a fantastic suit with all of this colour and all of this detail and a glass storm and everything, even the tanks and the pipe leading, even the tanks are coloured, sorry, and the pipe leading to it isn't. It's just sloppy. It's just really lazy. Let's say it. It's lazy, because that could so desperately done with more detail. Even if this was the same colour as his tanks, as his suit, everything like that, with maybe a nice bit of that deep blue stripe here along there, and the rest of it is just all this deep dark colour with little bits of a light blue maybe on this bit here and stuff like that. That would have been awesome. It would have been really cool, but instead we get this. And as I say, a lot of people got these figures. This figure was around about the time when I had a problem with my subscription and my figures didn't arrive for a long time. So I had people commenting on videos and personal messaging me and saying, what do you think of Mr. Freeze? And what do you think of his gun? And I had to keep on saying, I haven't got it yet. I don't know. I don't know. Finally, after all these months, I am now able to give my opinion. His gun sucks. It really does. It's terrible. It's a wonderful design. It's very nicely crafted, but the paint job on there, that sloppy, lazy, just, it lets the figure down more than anything else. I mean, I talked about Commissioner Gordon and how his base let the figure down. Yeah, the base did let the figure down, but it wasn't as bad. This is just, it's just, you can't even begin to believe that they've done that, or why they've done that. It's just, shame. Shame, you know, that's all I can say, shame. And it is such a big shame, because when you look at this on the whole, and based on such a good character, such an influential, such a moving, emotional character for a man who has no emotions, and he's such a good figure, and the gun just really lets it down, and it is such a shame. And you can't help but look at this and go, wow, that's really cool. What the hell is that? You know? And I think maybe that is what's happened. That should have been painted, and for some reason it hasn't been. And obviously everyone's is the same. It's not just a small batch. Everyone that I have spoken to or heard from has said the same thing. And it's such a shame. It really is. So overall, a nice figure, really good figure. I do like this, but meh. And that is a pity. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. I will apologise that I didn't get any reviews up last week. I was actually away at Wembley for the NFL International Series, went and saw the Patriots at the Rams. Lots of beer, lots of good friends and American football, so I had a great weekend. So apologies I didn't get that done, but I am hoping to get a couple of videos up over the next couple of days to kind of make up and catch up for it. So look out for them. And until then, I will see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cool party.